Manley, he's back down in 5th, but he's missed out by the narrowest of margins. Of course, that's not going to mean a lot to him now, sat back with 4 karts in front of him, but he's going to have a lot to do from there. And now we're going to have to see how his racecraft is and how his strategy is going to be. Absolutely
right there, Ram. Well, I'm in agreement with that one. This is the first real test of Lewis Manley. He's not having to defend, he's having to attack. We're going to have to see him get to the front. We'll see how he is on strategy and a variety of things, but that is a nastily close. I mean, poor old Kyle Power, he turns up, he's 0.2 seconds off the pace, and he's down in 6th.
It's a great start, though. Great start from Davies. He's got a little gap already, actually, leading away through turns 1 and into 3. And you can see once again, and he thinks he's been hurt. And there's a problem. There's a problem already for Verhofste.
Yeah, Stefan Verhofste, he was waving away, and goodness knows what that's about. Did he actually start his own engine there? It looks like he stalled and restarted. Yeah. Well, we've not seen that, but what a lead there, and Brad Philpot's making a move down the inside in second. But Oliver Davies, what a lead he's got now, thanks to Verhofste. And, well, Stefan Verhofste, what on earth happened there? Was he hit and caused it to stop, or did it cut out on him and that backed everybody up? We're not really sure. What did you see there, Will Buxton?
Well, what happened was Davies, I think, got really sideways going into their hairpin. Brad hit the back of Stefan, and I think you're right. I think that might have caused a little issue there, but he managed to sort it out. But look at the gap now, right up at the front. That's huge. That's surely an insurmountable lead now.
I'll be interested to see what Brad does as well in his position, because Brad's been matching Verhofste, and would he decide to take a pit maybe? We'll have to see.
He may well do. We've got someone in the pit lane immediately. It is Ryan Smith. Now, Ryan Smith needs points from this. He really has to claw back some scores, and he's in the wrong heat for doing it, but by heck, he's doing his best. How are we on time?
I think that's absolutely the smartest move from Ryan. I was going to say either him or Lewis Manley to pit, because they're catching a guy at the moment. They were running 32.6s, 32.4s. Ollie at the front is running 33 flat. Right now, they were being held up by him.
This is working well. Verhofste's come in the pits. This is interesting. This is what we're waiting for. One of the leaders to come in. It's well, it's not like he checks his engine again. It's we know with 10 seconds is
he's done him. Ryan's done him.
Ryan Smith's leapfrogged Verhofste, and so is Chris Pease almost. Although we know Chris hasn't been in the pits, and so Ryan Smith is the man right now. Look at this, down the backstretch he goes. He's stretching his lead over Brad Philpot and Stefan Verhofste, and that is saying something in its own right. He's out-thought them, out-strategized them. He's now out-racing them, and well, it's all looking good for Ryan Smith. He needed to pull someone out of the bag, and he picks his most difficult heat to do it.
Well, if you're going to do it, why not in that one, hey? But
okay, and well, who would you prefer if you were Ryan Smith? Would you want it Brad Philpot behind you or Stefan Verhofste?
I'd rather have Brad Philpot behind me, to be honest with you. He's definitely the least aggressive out of the two. And also, just another point, if they're swarming all over the back of the Ryan, how soon is it before he goes defensive? And at what point does that then hand the initiative to Lewis Manley to come back into the game?
Listen, in 10 laps time, he could have pulled out the 3 seconds that he needs. All he needs is 3/10 a lap for the next, I say all he needs, 3/10 a lap for the next 10 laps. But for as long as those 3 guys are switching position, fighting, being defensive, and he keeps him putting laps, 32.4s, I mean, it's not impossible.
Well, the gap's already up to 9 seconds now. So Lewis Manley's actually putting the business in here. And the issue is as well, I think Bradley's got a bit of a problem here, because really, actually, for me, I think Ryan is probably going to be actually happy with second at the end of the race, whereas Bradley will see this as a missed opportunity.
Well, that may be the case, but Brad's is making an effort to pass him. He did have a run down the outside on the backstretch there. He's waving about something. Probably he's been tapped in the rear by Stefan Verhofste, and Ryan Smith is holding them both off brilliantly. Manley's going quicker again. He's really doing what it takes to win this thing. I mean, the other guys are fast, but Lewis Manley is setting the pace. He needs 10 seconds, so he's got 10 seconds on Verhofste. He just needs to make up half a second on Smith, and then he could pit and come out side by side, which usually translates into the race lead. If he can get 11 seconds, he's absolutely going to be home and dry. Guys, do we feel that Ryan Smith and Brad Philpot and Stefan Verhofste are actually slowing themselves down?
Yeah, and just then you just saw Brad knows it. He's willing Ryan on. He's waving at him. He's saying we need to go forwards. Stop looking at me. I think he knows. He knows what's happening. He can see that Lewis hasn't pitted. He see Lewis is still on the track. I mean, again, we talked about this earlier. You can get reference points, and you know if you're pulling away from someone or not. And at the moment, Lewis is pulling away from them.
This is great news for Ryan Smith. He really is looking good. But Brad Philpot is battling away. And where is Lewis Manley in terms of distance? Because I think Manley is still out on the track. We haven't seen him pit. He's leaving it till the very last second. He's got, yes, he can do it, but he needs to pit really. He's got it, what's it, 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes now. A couple of laps maybe.
cannot emphasize how perfect Lewis Manley's pit stop is going to have to be. Any slight fluff, any hesitation, and this thing won't just be missing out on the win. He's going to miss out on the top 3.
Oh, absolutely. He's either going to exit ahead of Ryan Smith or behind Stefan Verhofste. There's no question of filtering in. There's nowhere to filter into.
Yeah, exactly. And Will's hit it spot on. You know, if he even just slightly gets a slight hesitation on either of the stops, he's going to find himself in 4th place, and he'll be gutted at that.
Yes, he will. How's he looking? Another fastest lap, we think, from Lewis Manley. 11 seconds is the gap. Well, I reckon that should be enough to do it. Is he going to? Yes, he is. He's waved his hand. Lewis Manley in the pits. Now, this is the crucial stop. How's it going to be? He does not need a yellow light on this one, does he? Oh, no. Well, he's got the green. Now, here comes Ryan Smith. Now, Lewis is on the second part now, and he's going to have to get going. Surely he's done it, but he's losing momentum. Call it. Oh, it's going to be very close. And he needs to stay on the inside, and Ryan Smith is absolutely on his tail. He's been passed by Brad Philpot. Can Lewis Manley hang on?
Well, it looks like he is held on, but Ryan's just about held on from Verhofste, so there's a bit of a change of the guard there in the sense of 2nd place, but Lewis, I think certainly he's going to have this now to the end.
Manley holds on, Will Buxton. What do you reckon?
A minute and 30 to go. I just want to watch the track rather than watching the microphone. Coming down into the back. Bradley's all over the back of him. Like, Bradley's been trying to get past Ryan for a good 10 laps now. He knows how the guy ahead is going to make his car pretty wide. Bradley, will he make the move? Is 2nd good enough for him? What a wonderful race.
Stefan Verhofste, who had designs on winning it, he's been winning all the races so far, but he's only 4th in this one. What a race down the backstretch. We got a minute remaining, and to the outside goes Philpot. Lewis Manley defends the inside, runs slightly wide. Philpot actually matches him on line, and Lewis Manley continues in the lead there, and Ryan Smith surely has got designs on Brad Philpot. He won't have liked losing that position when Manley came out of the pit lane. There he is, unnoticed, the last corner here. Here comes Lewis Manley to win the race of his life. He knows it, he's done it. Philpot comes in 2nd. Smith hopefully has done enough to keep himself in contention, and Stefan Verhofste has gone from a couple of wins to a 4th place. He won't like that. And coming up on the tail there, unnoticed by anyone here really, was Oliver Davis. We were busy watching the front, but Ollie Davis, he pulled it up on the tail there, didn't he?
I think that's race of the day. You had it absolutely everything in that, from Verhofste's engine seemingly going on the first lap, that massive gap then that Oliver Davis was able to pull at the front, and then just the genius really of Ryan Smith taking that stop when he did, when he got up to the back of the group, and then Manley being left all on his own at the front and putting in really an astonishing brace of laps, each one a consecutive race at fastest lap, a 10th here, a 100th there, did the job, pulled it up from 8 seconds at one point, back up to 11, stopped, got out in the lead. I think an absolutely brilliant drive, a deserved win, and you could see his elation when he crossed the line. That was hard fought.